Kingdom Hearts franchise possesses an incredible range of fans. The Disney characters give something that a lot of younger fans or passionate Disney fans can attach to. The Final Fantasy characters help to bridge the gap between Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix's sister franchise, Final Fantasy. There's another aspect that attracts people like myself, speedrunners, and most likely you, the viewer of this video. This franchise has very interesting and complex combat mechanics. Today we will be looking at the world record progression for, in my opinion, the most technical speedrun category in all of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Level 1 Data Organization RTA, or Real-Time Attack. This video will not be ranking which games are the most technical. Throughout this video I will be showing various clips from the runs that are being talked about, unless specifically stated otherwise on screen. I have asked each and every runner if I have permission to use their footage beforehand. If a runner did not have a method of contacting them, I will be resorting to YouTube's own fair use guidelines. I aim to create this video to share with as many people as possible the incredible feats that the runners of this category, the strategy creators, and the routers have accomplished. With this all out of the way, we can begin looking into the runs, the strategies, and the discoveries made along the way. The beginning of our journey starts in the spring of 2013. The first recording I could find of a Level 1 Data Org run belongs to Orin Super 95, with a time of 55 minutes and 30 seconds. This run was obviously primitive, since it was the first of its kind. The strategies used in this run were refined casual strategies, and anyone was able to learn how they work. To begin with, the Data Roxas strategy that was used was simply a loop utilizing Rumbling Rose for an extra finisher, making it 3 in total. A full combo, Guard Break, Reflect Finisher, Guard Break was the foundation of this loop. The majority of the fight consisted of this simple yet effective strategy. The problems with this strategy were obvious, however. Once you reach a later phase in the fight, Roxas has an attack that breaks this loop. Desperation moves, which are the powerful attacks that enemies use, generally when they are low on HP, were inevitable. I will be using the term DM from now on. Roxas's DM lasts about 25 seconds, and any speedrunner or speedrunning fan knows that 25 seconds is an eternity when every second matters. We are going to move on from Roxas now, but he made an excellent example for why these simple strategies were not going to last very long in a speedrun setting. Orin Super's first run used a route that I can only assume was meant to fight the most random bosses that also share similar menus. For example, if I need to switch to Decisive Pumpkin for Data Marluxia, I would try to find other bosses that also require Decisive Pumpkin and group them together in a route. This basic example of route and menu interaction is the reason that Level 1 Data Org has gone through so many route changes. There were far too many to address each and every one, so I will only be mentioning the truly important ones. As this was the very first route, it is worth outlining. Orin Super's route was as follows: Data Roxas, Larxene, Marluxia, Luxord, Demyx, Axel, Saïx, Zexion, Luxeus, Vexen, Xaldin, Xigbar, Xemnas, Final Xemnas. Larxene's strategy was essentially to perform a full combo on her and wait for her to retaliate, where Orin would then counter and repeat. For her second phase, he would guard her attacks and wait for her to reform to continue attacking, until he could manage to force her into the downward lightning attack loop. This attack is the foundation for most looping strategies for Larxene. Data Marluxia's strategy was to meet his revenge value, which is most easily explained as an invisible meter that fills with every attack done against an enemy. Once a threshold is broken, the meter is subtracted from, and the boss forces a revenge attack. This attempts to prevent the player from continuously comboing the boss. I will be referring to revenge value as RV from this point forward. So Orin Super would combo Marluxia until he was forced to retaliate. Orin would then guard through the revenge attack and use one of 2 reaction commands, one of which restores how many hits Sora can take, which is irrelevant on level 1. The other deals damage, significant damage. The damaging reaction command, or RC, called Aerial Strike, was and still is a very simple way to loop Marluxia for the first phase, while still dealing great damage. Once Orin was in the second phase, he used well-timed Firaga attacks to stagger Marluxia for the brief time that he's vulnerable before summoning his death pools. This allowed Orin to continue comboing Marluxia, forcing his revenge value, dodging the retaliation, and using Firagas to stagger Marluxia again. This is basically known as Firaga looping for Marluxia. I'm making that up. This general strategy was used until Marluxia reached his DM phase around 6 bars of HP. At this point, Oren would wait out the DM and finish Marluxia in final form. Data Luxord's strategy was incredibly funny to me, as the important part of the strategy is to run away from Luxord, which you wouldn't normally expect in a speedrun where you're trying to deal as much damage as quickly as possible. But we do. Your goal in this fight is to reduce Luxord's time gauge. The best way to do that is to complete his card minigame, then following up with a combo. That was the entire fight. Once the DM happens, Oren would do it just as any casual player would, where you do the first 3, and then you pause buffer the last one because it's going way too fast. Demex's strategy involved using Wisdom Form Firagas to clear out the first 4 water clone waves. He would then just wait for openings on Demex before comboing him. This was the entire main fight. Once Demex was DMing, Oren would use air combos with Combo Master to clear the waves with Magnet Burst. This was most likely a backup strategy, as he accidentally went into final form on wave 1. After this, he would use Wisdom Form to clear the remaining clones and kill Demex. Data Axel's strategy was to use Mysterious Abyss for the Blizzard boost and cast Blizzards as much as possible, since he's weak to it, which is a perfectly valid strategy. There was nothing super notable in this fight though. Sayx's strategy was to perform full combos, guard, and counter guard his retaliations. That was the entirety of the fight. He did die once here due to a poor item throw, but the strategy itself was very straightforward. Zexian's strategy was rather painful to watch because Zexian's book world is probably the most dangerous thing out of all the 14 fights. It is incredibly difficult to live if you do not utilize a limits and vulnerability. The fight consisted of comboing Zexian until he puts you into book world. You limit through book world. Once you are out of book world, you use final form Firagas to deal a ton of damage, then just cast Firagas till he puts you back into book world. You escape and do the same thing again. Final form Firagas into normal Firagas. He should die after that. Lexaeus was very straightforward. Oren would reflect Lexaeus' attacks and then do full combos on him. Rinse and repeat. Nothing notable here. Vexen would involve breaking his shield, using final form Firagas on him, and then normal Firagas. Limit through his DM. Once you're through his DM, use final form Firagas and Firagas until he's dead. It's rather simple. Zaldin's strategy used Guardian Soul for reaction boost. He used spam jumps until he was dead. This fight was the bane of the run until much later in Data.org's history. Xigbar was beat to death with a bunch of horizontal slashes and reflecting his shots. Probably the most bare-bones strategy. Xemnas was another just spam reflect forehead fight. You reflect his combos and do full combos. Very exciting. Final Xemnas was another super random fight. Oren would use Riku's Limit Session to get invincibility frames throughout Xemnas' throw move. You know, when he says, "We shall go together." Oren would reflect orbs whenever they were thrown and guarded through the laser phase. I'm sure you noticed that I was going over these strategies very quickly towards the end. They were not incredibly exciting, but it is important to understand the roots of where level 1 Data.org came from. This is a baseline. Without a baseline, we will not understand how incredible some of these strategies, optimizations, and incredible achievements really are. Orin Super and BizKit047 battled for world record in Level 1 Data Org's infancy. They consistently traded world records back and forth. First, Orin's 55-minute 30-second run, then Biz's 51:30 run. Orin beat that 51:30 with another 51:30 that was just slightly faster. Biz beat that with a 50:36. Orin beat that with a 46:55. Biz beat that with a 46:13. The next big change to the category wouldn't come until June 3rd, 2013. Orin Super's 45:33 run was the first to utilize a brand new Roxas strategy. Instead of rumbling Rose combos, where you were praying for Roxas to cooperate the entire fight, there was now a strategy to use limit form for the first and third phases. Orin would specifically not meet Roxas' revenge value as well. As far as I know, this is a better way to have him retaliate without DMing, but it's still not perfect. With this new strategy, the battle for world record continued. Biz beat Orin's 45:33 with a 44:36 in the summer of 2013. Orin beat this 44:36 with a 43:10. Biz beat this 43:10 with a 42:31 on November 27th, 2013. This 42:31 is where another leap in strategies came into play. Luxord had a new strategy which involved using Blizzagas at the end of the combo to help force Luxord to use his card minigame. Sayex's new strategy involved limit form combos. The Luxord strategy was a much bigger deal than the Sayex strategy, but both helped push the time even further. Sometime in 2014, Orin Super came back and beat Biz's 42:31 with a 41:11. Biz beat this 41:11 with a huge improvement of 39:10 on July 18th, 2014. That is over 2 minutes purely from optimization. Orin quickly fired back with a 38:42 only 6 days later. Orin had 3 new tools under his belt: a slightly new Roxas strategy, which saved a couple of seconds, a new Larxene comma ending, which allowed him to reflect her massive clone attack for insane damage, and lastly, he started using Peter Pan's famous stun lock on Sayex. I am unsure if Peter Pan is faster than the old strategy, but it is most definitely safer. For those of you who have never seen Peter Pan's stun lock, take a look for yourself. August 7th, 2014. A new challenger approaches. Axens post a time of 37:58 using DM skips on Zaldin and Lexaeus, as well as an entirely new strategy for Zexion. Zaldin's DM was skipped in the weirdest way I've ever seen. After using your 9 jumps, you can cast a Thunder, followed by Whirligoof of all things. This, I'm assuming, either meets Zaldin's Force Revenge or Flinch count, which forces him to use his jump move. I lean more towards the second option, but I'm not entirely sure. Lexaeus' DM skip is far less weird. You just use Final Form Firaga and Limit Form to finish him off before he even has a chance to DM, but it's still really cool. Zexion's strategy would save a lot of headache due to skipping Bookworld. You open the fight by saving your party members if needed, then you go into Final Form and cast Firaga until you're out of drive. Go into Wisdom Form and use your Firaga slowly until Zexion is dead. Only 1 week later, a runner by the name of Rain posts a time of 35:23, over 2 minutes faster than Axen's run. There is no video of this run, unfortunately. 1 month later, on September 27th, 2014, Axens returns with a 33:59 utilizing a collection of new strategies. Whether it was Rain or Axens who created these strategies or used them first is unknown because Rain's video doesn't exist anymore. Axan's run used Ahiron's new Zaldin DM skip, which still used jumps for the first 2 phases, but switched to Final Form air combos for the last third. It's a beautiful combo when done correctly. Axan's also extended the Final Form Pain Train invitation to Xigbar, who, of course, kindly accepted. Blizzaga corner combos for Saïx were born, as well as final Genie Larxene strats. Also, Axan's incorporated Reflex into Final Xemnas' throw moves, eliminating the need for Session and creating far more damage at the start of the fight. As far as I can tell, this run is also when we started to see Reflect Slapshot combos, an amazing way to create multiple damaging Reflex in a single combo. On top of all this, a basic version of the dual stance Roxas was created. This is a lot of people's favorite strategy just because of how beautiful it is to watch. October 1st, 2014. Sonic Shadow Silver 2, a fantastic multi-talented runner and walking encyclopedia of cage mechanics, sets a new record of 31-13, though short-lived. The very next day, Bizkit came back and set a 30-48 world record. Sometime later, Rain set a 30-28 time, but again there is no video. January 15th, 2015. Bloody Bizkits, a prominent runner of many cage categories and another strategy hunting legend in the community, set a new world record of 29:58, the world's first data.org run done in under 30 minutes. Less than 2 years ago in the lifespan of level 1 data.org, the time has been cut nearly in half. Bloody used a new route and a handful of new strategies in this run, including Xigbar's new Final Form Firaga combos that were stitched together with Duck Flare combos and normal combos. More optimized combos on Lexaeus, and a new variant of the corner Blizzaga strat for Saïx. Utilizing Goofy's Tornado RV canceling on Demix to speed up the body of the fight as well. And finally, Reflect combo stalling on Marluxia. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it feels like it describes it pretty perfectly. Just take a look.
Let's just get the strat correct. I'd appreciate that this time.
Only 4 days later, Bloody Bizkits yet again lowered the record from 29:58 to 29:35. The main difference in this run was his refined version of Larxene's final Genie combos that includes Comet Rain Reflect combos. Seeing this fight done at RPG Limit Break 2016 by Bizkit047 is the reason that I got into speedrunning, so of course I'm going to be a bit biased, but this strategy is breathtaking.
Same shit. I swear to God, if this fails again, just like last time. Okay, it didn't.
July 5th, 2015. Bizkit047 makes his return to level 1 data.org's record history by setting a 29:32, only 3 seconds faster than the previous record. 1 month later, Bizkit again shatters the record with a 28:54. This is the first recorded record that contains Vexen's DM skip. Vexen's DM is brutal as it deals incredible damage and lasts for an eternity, so this was a huge find by Sonic Shadow Silver 2. On a much less impressive note, there was also a new strategy for Roxas using 1 combo plus that saved a bit of time.
Of course, he does the farthest away icicle. Otherwise, perfect fight.
December 2nd, 2015. A Japanese runner by the name of Spider0008 solidifies himself into the level 1 data.org record history with a 28-23, and he definitely isn't going anywhere. This run used a new Marluxia opening, but nothing too major. June 19th, 2016. 6 months after the previous record, a lot had been discovered, but no runs were being done. On top of a route change, this was the first record in history to be RNG manipulated, allowing Spider to achieve a 26.56. The incredibly short and basic explanation of what this means is that by performing certain actions a specific way, the runner can set up fights to behave the same way every time. In this case, the RNG was manipulated so that Zaldin would behave a certain way, allowing Spider to do much faster strategies involving Master Form Thunder, as well as being able to predict where Luxor's minigame answers will be and complete them instantly. We'll get back to this later. This run also took advantage of Axel's super armor during his "Get Back!" attack to fit in an extra blizzard for that little bit of extra damage. This was also when we saw the first Comet Rain usages on Marluxia. Comet Rain is a tricky move to use since it throws enemies into the air, however by using it during their super armor animations, we can do full damage. Yet again, Lexaeus got combo overhauls and Xemnas 1's opening was changed as well.
Let's go! It's over! It's over!
A month later, on July 24th, 2016, Spider beat his 26.56 with a 26.26. There was a new interesting strategy with Zaldin using Reflex, as well as Vexen's DM skip with no Mega Duck Flare, an idea proposed by Bloody Biscuits. September 20th, 2016. Spider sets a new record of 25.48 utilizing Sonic Shadow Silver's new final Genieless Larxene, as well as many other optimizations. October 31st, 2016, Spider gets a new record of 25.42 that uses a trick called Building Skip for Xemnas 1. Normally, once Xemnas is depleted to around 4.1 bars of HP, he will attempt to force you over to the building, where you can then finish the fight. However, it is faster to kill him before he gets the chance to do this. With well-executed Luminate Form combos, you can deplete all 4 of those bars before he can force you to the building, saving a healthy chunk of time. November 22nd, 2016, Spider gets another record at 25.27, implementing a new route change. 2 weeks later, he sets another record of 25.13. December 16th, 2016, Bloody Biscuits discovers how to extend RNG manipulation from Luxord to Axel to Xemnas 1 to Final Xemnas. This was a very tall order to perform, but it was possible, and changed a lot for the category. December 26th, 2016, Spider sets another record of 25.04 using a strategy called Berserk Charge. Going down in level 1 data.org history as being one of the most precise strategies in the game, Berserk Charge meant a lot for the category. The reason that Berserk Charge is so precise is due to the horizontal slash timing, as well as the timing for activating Mega Duck Flare. Once Xigbar's RV is high enough for him to be teleporting, each horizontal slash has a 4-frame window to be input in the 60 FPS versions of the game. While I do not know the number of 4-frame horizontal slashes in the fight, it would probably be around 30. The Mega Duck Flare timing is also incredibly difficult, but I do not know the frame window on it. If you do not believe me on how hard it is to pull this off, try to learn it for yourself. It's a fun challenge that will let you respect these runners even more. Two days after Spider's 25.04, Bloody Biscuits sets a 25.02 record, being slightly more optimal than Spider's last run. About a month after this, Spider sets a new record of 24.45, which utilizes a new Lexaeus strategy. February 23rd, 2017, Spider sets a new record of 24:29 thanks to an amazing final Xemnas pattern and best segmenting Xigbar. March 9th, 2017 was the Japanese release date of 1.5 plus 2.5 on PlayStation 4. Better hardware means better load times as well as better quality of video. However, 1.5 plus 2.5 was, at first, a very poorly made port from the PS3 version, including some of the worst bugs, as well as introducing new ones. Square Enix would slowly release patches to address most of these issues, however it would never be perfect. March 19th, 2017, CrispyMe submits a 23:54 time on the PS4. This run was far from perfect execution-wise, but it did have a couple of new strategies. This was the first record to use Berserk Charge on Zaldin. Zaldin was always much more difficult to use Berserk Charge on due to his increasing height as the battle goes on. This run was also the first to use Sonic Shadow Silver's RNG manipulation setup to get all 6 quick-release reaction commands on Luxord. This is the trick for instant minigame completion that I was talking about earlier. Crispy's next run 3 days later was the first record to use the new RNG manipulation route of Luxord, then Axel, then Xemnas, as shown in Bloody's extended RNG manipulation video, and with this achieved a new time of 23:25. April 10th, 2017. CrispyMe sets a new record on the English version of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix with a 23:02. Normally runners were forced to use the Japanese version since Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix was only released in Japan. However, with 1.5 plus 2.5 on PS4, the English patch was made available for Final Mix. The English version did not have any longer cutscenes or dialogues, so why did this matter? The English version of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on PS3, for some unknown reason, had Mega Duck Flare last about twice as long as the Japanese version. This carried through to the PS4 version. This means that we can deal more damage for longer. This record also used a different route of Luxord into Axel, into Roxas, into Marluxia. 3 days later, CrispyMe gets a run of 22:30, saving 32 seconds, mainly due to perfect Berserk Charge execution. Over the next 5 months, CrispyMe was slowly chipping away at his time, improving from a 22:30 to a 22:28 to a 22:06 to a 21:58, and so on. No massive route or strategy changes occurred here, and it was all just optimizing and small tweaks. This was in part due to patch 1.03 being very strange to run on. There were also a few strange bugs left that the dev team did not polish yet. September 6th, 2017. CrispyMe sets his first sub 21 minute time of 20:49 on patch 1.04. This patch fixed most of the issues with the game and was a very solid patch. There were still a few small issues, but nothing that greatly impacts data.org. It is important to note that this is probably one of the most optimal data.org runs to date in terms of using strategies to their fullest. This run used new strategies, a new route, which would remain a dominant route for quite some time as well. There was a new Demic strategy to pull him to the favorable corner faster, as well as damage him faster, and also a faster ending to Zexion. Crispy accomplished his goal of sub 21 and moved to other things until something new was found. November 16th, 2017. CrispyMe sets another record of 20:36 using a new Psyx strategy and saving time with other small optimizations. CrispyMe kept working on his time and less than a week later set a 20:29. After a long break, CrispyMe set another record of 2019 in March of 2018. You couldn't just save one more second, huh, Crispy? 2 weeks later, however, he saved another 6 seconds with a 2013. April 6th, 2018. CrispyMe sets 1 second records 3 days in a row. During this time, the final RNG manipulation route was used and is Axel, Luxord, Xemnas. It is still like that to this day. There is also a new final form Lexaeus strategy which is very flashy and fast.
God dang, I was too slow. Yeah!
April 9th, 2018. CrispyMe breaks a 10-minute barrier and achieves the world's first sub-20.org RTA run with a time of 19 minutes 54 seconds. This run uses the single most stupid strategy that .org has ever seen, which is similar to Berserk Charge, but on Zexion. This strategy is so inconsistent and random, it still makes me upset. Only 1 month later, Crispy sets a new record of 1946 through optimizations and a new Roxas strategy that only crazy people will ever use. You have to react to what Roxas does without guarding, so you will die a lot before you learn that not being predictive means life. 2 months later, Crispy sets a record of 1933 on July 7th, 2018. Again, this was mostly optimizations, faster menus, faster inputs, and a new ending to Larxine's fight by using Magnet Explosion. Another 2 months later, CrispyMe sets a new record of 1929 using a new Demic strategy, a slightly different Saïx strategy, and a faster Lexaeus strategy, as well as using PS4 Pro for slightly faster loads. November 9th, 2018. Spider achieves a 1925 using a new Saïx and Zexion strat. Thankfully, this Zexion strategy is not the definition of a headache and makes runs far more enjoyable to do. The new Saïx strategy is similar to the existing one, except it allows us to do more reflex, which if you haven't realized yet, are incredibly strong. Later that month, Crispy fired back with a 1922, but there is no video of this. December 1st, 2018, Crispy sets a new record of 1914, in which he best segmented 3 splits. 2 weeks later, on December 15th, Crispy executes the first world record with Lexaeus power skip with a 1909. This is a very weird skip that uses magnet and staggers to cancel the animation of Lexaeus' power-up. I don't entirely understand how it works, but I know that the magnet causes a stagger, which kicks him out of the animation. Crispy then improves this run with a 1906, but there is no video. On December 27th, Crispy managed to get a 1-second improvement with a 1905. There were mistakes made, but it is a PB nonetheless. January 17th, 2019, Crispy utilized a 2-combo plus variant of Roxas and corrected some of those mistakes in the previous run to get a 19-minute flat run. As over 100 people cheer for him in Twitch chat, he is only 1 second away from his goal time. Months go by and no records are set. He only needs the 1 second. Perhaps he's just waiting for the perfect day.
Yeah, dude, holy sh**. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Holy f***. You know what, gotta make this run valid. Alright, it's valid.
4/20/2019. CrispyMe becomes the first person on Earth to complete all 14 bosses of the data organization in under 19 minutes. 1857 is his lowest record to date. It would be almost a year until it was beaten. January 29th, 2020, Spider uses a new Larxine strategy to save a couple of seconds and optimizes every little thing he can to finally achieve where record currently stands today. 18 minutes, 52 seconds. As of April 6th, 2020, CrispyMe has a 18-minute, 53-second PB, but Spider's record remains unbroken. The data organization story is one of constant innovation, grinding, overwhelming skill, and a little bit of luck, but also family. Everyone in the Kingdom Hearts community wants to see each other get better as people, as runners, and as friends. The Data.org community alone has shown how far we can push something given enough time, dedication, and creativity. I'd like to share a few moments that were highlighted as favorites by Sonic and Crispy. Sonic's favorite moments while involved in Data.org were finding all kinds of cool strategies and playing a part in refining RNG manipulation as a whole, one of the most ambitious endeavors in Data.org's history. Crispy's favorite memory from running level 1 Data.org was his 19 flat run, which I find a little ironic. His goal was sub 19, but his favorite run was the closest miss he had up until then. He remembers having a lot of supportive people in his chat, every last one of them cheering him on as he got to the final fights, and when he finally got his PB, there was an overwhelming support and kudos coming from his chat. Lastly, my favorite memory from level 1 Data.org as a whole was this video, this script I'm working on, the audio I'm recording. This is my favorite memory from level 1 Data.org. Why? Because it's allowed me to relive every single one of those moments I had already loved and already cherished and shared them with everyone who watched this video. The runners entrusting me with their footage and experiences as well. That's a gift I won't forget about anytime soon. And thank you for watching.